very good afternoon. On behalf of the Rubber Skill Development Council, I welcome everyone to today's webinar, Skill Development Through Higher Education Aims to Empower Youth of the Country. I am Shivani Nagpal, CEO RSTC, and your host for the webinar. Delivering quality education is critical for holistic development of a nation and is a key enabler for ensuring inclusive and sustainable development. Expanding access to higher education, skill development and vocational training enhances a nation's competitiveness in the global economy and also drives social economic development. India is poised to be stand out as one of the skilled nations in coming years, and it's time for higher education and skill training to exist in same space with seamless integration by revamping of the curriculum according to the need of the industry. To enable this, it is very important for the industry and academia to work together to generate focused hands-on candidate with right blend of learning and employability traits. Skill-based learning focuses on increasing employability, equips students with appropriate hands-on skill, which helps them to be job ready. Core focus on job-based skill leads to comprehensive specialization. Thereby, it increases the efficiency of the candidate, and skill training intervention raises confidence and improves productivity and competency of an individual through focused outcome-based learning. Today's RSTC webinar is all about the initiatives of vocational education and training in universities and colleges under the guidance of UGC, AICTE, and NSDC. RSDC have already a tie-up with around 11 colleges and universities across the country who offers BVOC in rubber technology and dual certification program, which offer a skill certification to the students along with their regular degree and diplomas. Today, we have very eminent speakers from universities, industry, and NSDC to share their experience and importance of skills in higher education. On behalf of all of us at RSTC, a warm welcome to all our speakers, and we are all eagerly looking forward to hearing from them. I would also like to welcome our participants who have logged in from across country and hope that we will have a lot of takeaways at the end of the session. Now, without further ado, I am pleased to introduce you to our today's moderator, Mr. Shrikant. He is Director of Alpha Rubber and Springs Private Limited, a MSME rubber parts manufacturing company at Chennai. He is also an RSTC's North Subcommittee member and Managing Committee member of All India Rubber Industries Association. He also heads MSME panel of CII for Tamil Nadu State. Before I hand over to Mr. Shrikant, may I request the audience to ask your questions in the Q&A tab, and it will be taken after all the speakers' presentation are completed. I would also like to encourage you to follow RSTC on our different social media platforms so that we can be in touch on a regular basis. So without any further delay, I would like to welcome Mr. Shrikant to moderate today's session. Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Shivani, and welcome to the eminent panel of speakers we have today and the participants from across the country as well as other parts of the world who have logged in. RSDC in the past has been, during the COVID period, has been highlighting various aspects of skill development, and the last webinar was on international skill development initiatives across the globe and benchmarking exercise that they did 2 weeks back, if I'm not mistaken, where Mr. Vinod Simon, the chairman of RSDC, moderated the session. Today, we bring you a session where we have got eminent educationists who will talk to us about the various RSDC initiatives and how the skill development program can be integrated with the ongoing regular curriculum in various universities. We then have Dr. Mukhopadhyay, who is the head research and head of HASETRI for part of the JKTI group, to talk to us about his experiences as head of the NOS committee, as well as an employer of the participants, the employees of the students who have undergone the skill development BVOC program. We then have with us Ms. Rekha Menon from the NSDC, who will share the government insights into the skill development program. Our first speaker from the university side, let me take great pleasure in welcoming Professor Biplab Haldar, Pro Vice Chancellor, ICFA University, Tripura. Professor Haldar comes with a tremendous background in the university institutional building sphere, He has set up as many as 6 institutions through the various state government acts on behalf of the ICFAI society. And he comes with a BTech degree in electrical engineering from IIT Kanpur and an MBA from IIM Ahmedabad. He has had stints in the corporate world as well. Currently, he is head of ICFAI University, Tripura. He is also serving on the board of various top universities across the country. And his specialization is institutional building, vision building, and taking the university and educational system forward. He has he has tremendous experience in nurturing business schools across the country and establishing the brand and establishing the operations. He's also worked with the government in policy framing with various government institutions and building human capacity skills. Without further ado, may I request Professor Haldar to make his presentation. Professor Haldar, over to you.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you, Mr. Srikanth, for your introduction. So, Ms. Shivani Nagpal, Professor R.K. Nath, HOD, BVOC, Rubber Technology, Tripura University, Dr. R. Mukhopadhyay, Director, R&D, JK Tyre, Ms. Rekha Menon, Head, Educational Initiative, NSDC, and all participants from ICFAI University, Tripura University, and all industry participants from across the country, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor for me to come and speak in front of this gathering through this webinar. And I would like to thank RSDC for conducting such a good program, even at this time of pandemic. In fact, this topic is so good, I really liked it, that it was sent skill development in higher education aims to empower youth of the country. Then subsequently today I saw that skill development was removed. It was made higher education aims to empower youth of the country. So I would like to point out that skill development should be the part of higher education. This has to be the order of the day. So higher education without giving the skill, it doesn't empower the youth of the country. Even the time when we graduated, they were not talking about skill, but we are fortunate to study in such kind of institution where the process was so that skill was coming automatically. So today we have to talk about skill because in higher education, people think that having a degree is higher education. But I tell you, our country is having such great institution where skill is already imparted, though we don't call it skill development is there. So therefore, this webinar which we are emphasizing that skill development in higher education, this is the way to empower the youth. So I really appreciate this topic. Now coming to our university, we have signed MOU with the RSDC in 2017 for providing senior rubber technicians this NSQF level 4 as per the National Occupational Standard, NOS. And then we have also got our faculty member trained, Dr. Swarnali Rath. She is a chemistry faculty member professor. She has been trained by RSDC at Delhi and she became the master trainer. And subsequently, our student, mechanical department students, they joined this program. And we are very happy to say that our 6 number of students completed this RSDC program. And they have also got good skill through doing internship from the Royal Fastener Private Limited, Guwahati. So this program, which is there with RSDC, apart from what you teach at our university, we are also sending them for IP in the rubber industries. So therefore, they got a good skill. And I am very happy to say that one of the students there has gone to Taiwan from our university. Of course, he has gone for doing PhD in mechanical engineering at Taiwan. But he has also gone through this program. So therefore, he's a very bright student. So it is not that skill is only for only for the people as we understand, but even for higher education and good quality students also, they also study this course and take interest to so that they have a multi-skill environment, multi-skill they have, so that depending upon the environment, economy, they can make their career. So in this dual certification program, we are giving BTech in mechanical engineering and one RHDC program. So this is a very unique course for our university at ICFA University, Tripura, which we are also promoting to the student community. Because if they study here mechanical engineering, they got 2 degrees. So which actually help them to switch over whenever the situation demands. As you know, in any industry, rubber is very, very important. And even in mechanical engineering, when they practice mechanical engineering, usage of rubbers, they improve the shock absorbing capability. This improves the machine's utility, their wear and tear reduces, and this rubber has got very wider implication. So in the career of a student, knowing the rubber and the technology, it is really helpful for their making a long-term career. And I tell you, in our university, this program is being taught by mechanical engineering department, chemistry faculty members, and also we got good help from Rava Research Institute at Agartala. They helped us. And I must confess here that even Tripura University, Professor R.K. Nath and his team, they also allowed us our students to take the facilities what they have got in Tripura University, which we do not have that much, because they are a centrally funded university. They are running BVOC program. They have got good number of equipments, and they are kind enough to allow our students, for which we are really appreciate and grateful to Professor R.K. Nath and his team. And we are also having the approval from UGC for conducting Bachelor in Vocational Studies, BVOC, in rubber technology. But what we are also thinking that since Tripura University is already having, and we have also do not have the funding to make the lab, so we have not gone for BVOC, though we have been approved by UGC for starting the program. So what we tell in this gathering, that if the industries are coming forward, and if there is a huge requirement of rubber technologists, and if we get the funding, we can also start BVOC at our university. So this is my submission to this team here, to the August people gathering here. Now we are also now in the process of signing MOU with All India Rubber Industries Association, ARIA, and also Rubber Research Institution. In fact, by signing this MOU, what is happening is that our students will be employable. Only giving skill is not enough unless we are able to get them placement. We are having the organizations who comes and recruit. Then it will be very difficult to continue this program. But so far, 17 students have joined this program. In fact, they have already completed in the month of July, 1st July, they have appeared for the exams conducted by RHDC, online exams, and they have all gone through the exams now, and they are now looking for placement in rubber industries. So here I request Mr. Srikant, who is from industry, and also a representative of RHDC and NSDC with their big platform, please see that we get placement. Please see that institution and organization, they come forward. I know that recruitment is a process where student has to appear for an interview. That they will do. Let them appear for the interview. At least if industry comes forward and conducts some online interviews and evaluation and look at our students, it will be great service to our society, to our students. I really appreciate that RSDC conducted a program, I believe maybe 2 years back at Agartala, and there we made several persons, including probably Dr. Mukhopadhyay also. I met him during that period. And we met several industry people from Madras and other locations. So this kind of gathering is very important. for industry academy collaboration, interaction. And due to this COVID, there are a lot of problems, lot of challenges. But one thing we appreciate that because of this COVID, we are able to easily meet all the participants here, all the persons here because of this webinar, what we are able to do. But this webinar was earlier there. In fact, we have been conducting in ICFAI, we have got 11 universities. We have been attending these various board meetings through video conferencing, but conducting classes with the students, it was not so easily acceptable by the faculty member, by we who are running the organizations. We also found it was difficulty, and students were not also, so far we never tasted, by the way. And we have seen, but it was not so easily acceptable. But I tell you, with our experience from the month of March, this online education is really possible, though it cannot replace directly face-to-face education. But at this juncture, what we have seen, this is the best option available to us today. So this online education is happening because of this high technology available with us, which is improving. In fact, I can tell you this particular Zoom, which we are using today, it was not so good in the month of April. In fact, we have been using Zoom free of cost, and our data, we got some mails, some attack from cyber attack. But subsequently, what we have found that Zoom also has made a lot of development in safety and security of the software. And we have also purchased this software, subscribed this, and we find this is very good, Zoom software. That way, webinar, we are also doing through Google Meet and other web platform. So using this webinar, this technology, we can have more and more interaction. And we at ICFAI University Tripura, we are very much interested to conduct certain programs, similar programs with rubber industries and associations. And we request RSDC also to come forward and work with us. We are very much interested to take these rubber skill programs to more students. And what we request here, that earlier this program was given to only mechanical engineering students. If you allow us to offer this program to other department students, for example, mechanical or electrical engineering, they are all core engineering. If you allow them also to this course, probably we can have more rubber technologists can come in this line, because when they go to the industry, they are not only they require knowledge of rubber, they require knowledge of mechanical, electrical, civil, every areas of engineering is required. So if you allow, if it is possible, then we can also offer these programs to other discipline students also. So I really say that this program was very useful for the students of our university. And what are the other suggestions? What we have here is that these, for the safety of the environment, if we have some industries available in Tripura, or if you offer these kind of programs in this course for reusing the rubbers, we find that a lot of rubbers are being available, thrown in the roadside, or rubber tubes are there, rubber tires are there. So reclaiming that rubbers, if we have some kind of courses or some kind of industry initiatives are there, that will be helpful for the environment. And also we feel that more focus should be given on practical aspect while conducting these rubber technology programs. And we at our university also feel that we must have some more equipments for conducting these programs. And we seek the cooperation from the industry, if they can come forward and also see that we can jointly work together with the industry for conducting very good rubber skill development program at our ICFAI University Tripura. With this, I again thank you all the participants, and also thanks RSDC and NSDC for conducting such very useful program. And I again thank all of you again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Haldar, for sharing your experiences in conducting the skill development courses in addition to your mechanical engineering degree program that you run. This was a point that was started in 2014-15 down south in a college which I had championed, and I think I'm glad that you have taken it up. From what I understand, unless there is a course requirement, there will not be a bar for any engineering student to take up the skill development program. Maybe there's a requirement of certain amount of physics and chemistry, and so that polymer sciences can be understood, but we can work on that. From the industry side, with respect to the graduates, please share the resumes of your students who have done this skill development course. We can circulate it amongst the industry stakeholders, and if any are interested in recruitment, that can be facilitated by the Rubber Association. And definitely, your experience and vision will definitely guide this program to expand a lot in the three sister states that you belong to at the moment. And we will now move on to the next speaker. We will take questions at the end. So we will now move on to the next speaker, who is Professor Nath from the Tripura University. Professor Nath is no stranger to RSDC. He's been a regular visitor at the RSDC office from 2013-14 and a champion of the BWOC program. The BWOC program is a 3-year degree program, and they are now in the third batch of students. They have graduated approximately 50 students. Professor Nath has an MSc and a PhD degree. His topics are on quantum kinetics, transfer properties of gas, chemical kinetics. I think bordering on chemistry as well as chemical engineering is his subjects. He has more than 65 publications to his credit. He's got a whole range of PhD scholars to guide. He's a veteran in the educational field and an asset to the Tripura University. He's having a life membership to the Indian Science Congress. He's a life member of the Tripura Chemical Society, and is a life member of the Indian Society for Surface Science and Technology, Jadavpur, Kolkata. He's completed a lot of research projects, and we are happy that he has chosen to partner with RSDC and champion the BWOC program. I will now leave it to Professor Nath to explain his experiences with the BWOC program, the expectations of the students whom he has guided so far, the success with the graduate students. I understand that all the 3 batches have got 100% placement. That is enormous credit to the university's educational system, as well as to the industry for seeking out these students and employing them. Over to you, Professor Nath.
Thank you, Srikanth, for a nice introduction. Good afternoon to all, and especially Mrs. Shivani Nagpal, RSDC, the organizer of this discussion, and other eminent personalities, Professor Biplab Haldar, Vice Chancellor, ICFA University, Tripura, Srimati Rekha Menon, Head Educational Initiative, NSDC, and Dr. R. Mukhopadhyay, Director and R&D, JACA Tyres. All the dignitaries who are attending this discussion online from all over India, I am very much delighted to be a part of this excellent discussion. Higher education aims to empower youth of the country. Youth means the people of ages below 40 years. Around 60% of the total population comprises of youth, and they contribute a substantial amount in the national income of the country. In the present battle of pandemic, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Please proceed, sir.
Okay.
You're audible. You're audible. Please proceed.
Are you audible?
Yeah. You are, sir. Please go ahead.
Okay. In this present battle of pandemic, youth are playing a vital role for accepting the steps and measures taken by the government and government of India and cooperating by doing their jobs with full responsibilities. As said by Sir Robert Kennedy, the world demands the qualities of youth, not a time of life, but a state of mind, a temper of the will, a quality of imagination, a predominance of courage over timidity, of the appetite for adventure over the life of cases. Unquote. So educational institutes have the responsibility to motivate them and mold their mind for a good cause. I think one of the vital ways to empower youth is to equip them with professional and personal skills. Skills manpower can utilize his or her potentiality fully and thoroughly and can come up as an entrepreneur. These can generate employment opportunity and add value to GDP of the nation. In this unprecedented situation, skill is very much required along with theoretical knowledge. Corona pandemic has affected each and everyone. Already there was recession and this pandemic has affected it adversely. It has imparted extra momentum in job crisis. On the other hand, to run the business, people are looking for the suitably skilled manpower. So, industry and academia should come forward with some resolutions where industry will share their skill requirements and university will generate skill curriculum according to the requirement. So at this point, I would like to say RSDC is doing excellent. We are in our university running 3 years bachelor in vocational rubber technology program from academic session 2015-16. With the help and full-hearted support of RSDC, I should mention the names of Engineer Binod Simon, Chairman RSDC, Mr. Srimati Shivani Nagpal, CEO RSDC, Dr. James Jacob, RRI Rubber Board, Mr. Prosenjit De, East and Northeast Coordinator, and also industry partner, Dr. R. Mukhopadhyay of Jacket Tire Industries, Mr. Kamlesh Jain, Royal Elastomer Private Limited, and Sushil Kumar of Aristotexan for their faith on us and for recruiting our students. We are going to showcase the achievements and outcome of our program in this presentation. My faculty, Dr. Vishnu Prasad Koiri, he is the mentor of these courses. He possesses MTech and PhD in rubber technology from IIT Kharagpur. Please, I request Dr. Koiri to present the achievement of people program. Mr. Koiri, please. Can you hear me, Koiri? No. Start your presentation. Mute करो है। Mute।
Dr. Koiri, you have to unmute yourself, please.
Yeah. Okay. Now it is audible.
Yes, please.
Carry on.
Okay. So I am going to showcase this about BVOC Rubber Technology Program in Tripura University. So we started in 2015 on a trial basis for a period of 3 years.
Screen is not there.
You are not sharing your screen.
Okay.
So, and we have prepared our syllabus as per NOS and QP provided by RSDC. And this BVOC program has multiple entry-exit option. And this course is mainly for 10+2 science background students. And after completion of 1 year of this course, the student will be awarded with diploma certificate. After 2 years, they will be awarded with advanced diploma. And after successful completion of 3 years, they will be awarded with BVOC Rubber Technology. The primary objective of the course is to prepare skilled manpower. So that's why I'm mentioning this word, that prepared skilled manpower. Maximum time we are facing whenever we are going to some industries or we are sending our students. At that time, they are giving some tasks to our students during their project to some R&D type of work. But this course, the course designed like that to generate the skilled manpower who can work as a lab assistant and under the guidance of some managers. And this is the total structure of the course. This launched in 2015 and qualification 10+2 science. It is a 6-semester course, 3 years course, and designed to impart hands-on training on rubber plantation, latex collection, preservation, latex rubber sheet preparation, latex and rubber product manufacturing and testing. And in the last semester, we are sending students to the industries for their industrial training purpose, where they will learn the industrial day-to-day activities and the manufacturing of the products. So why Tripura University has chosen this one? Because the Tripura is the second largest producer of rubber. And first is the Kerala. After Kerala, Tripura is the second largest. And this aim of the course is to train the youth of the Tripura state and to make them suitable for the industrial job or government job, and mainly we are targeting to make some entrepreneur. So it was launched by Tripura University by the then Honorable Governor of Tripura, Sri Tathagata Rai, and intake capacity of the student is 50, and till today 5 batches were admitted to this course, and that 2 batches were passed out. And this is the infrastructure. University is providing the computer facilities, Wi-Fi, projectors, classrooms, and lab books. They are having ample number of books on rubber and rubber technology. And basic infrastructure, we have bought these instruments like Muniviscometer, oscillating disc rheometer, then tensile testing machine, two-roll mill, denabrator. And this is the list of our instruments which are available in our university. We have made 3 labs. One is physical testing lab 1, second one is physical testing lab 2, and one is chemical testing lab, where we can do the wet testing of the rubber. And till today, what steps we have taken? We have prepared the syllabus and we are successfully running this course for last 3 years. And the first 2 batches, they have got 100% job placements, and we are getting full-hearted support from RSDC, ARIA, then JKTIR, and ARIA has also helped us to send our student to attend the Indian Rubber Expo in 2017 in Chennai, again in National Rubber Conference 2017 at Guwahati. And we have visited different places of India in rubber industries and institutions like IRMR Thane, Rubber Technology Center, IIT Kharagpur. Then we send our student for internship in Hessetry, Royal Elastomers Private Limited, Raipur. Then Holdwell Components Private Limited, Raipur. Puja Fluid Seal in Pune, Aristo Texacon in Rubber Park, Agartala. And these many personalities have visited in several times, and they have taken classes like Dr. James Jacob, Director RRII, then Vinod Simon Sir of Chairman RSDC, Dr. R. Mukhopadhyay, Director R&D, Chairman IRI. He also interacted with the students. Dr. S. Dhanania, Chairman RII Kottayam. Then Mr. S. Basudev Rao, he stayed here for around 20 days and took classes in Tripura University. Then Professor B. Khastedi of RTC, he also took classes. Then Professor Nikhil Kumar Singha of Rubber Technology Center, IIT Kharagpur, Professor Dipankar Chattopadhyay. We got full-hearted support from Kamalesh Jain Sir of Royal Elastomers Private Limited. He gave us the opportunity to send our student for internship. We are regularly sending our student to his industry. Then Dr. S.K. De, Joint Director RRS Agartala. Then Dr. D. Mandar, Senior Scientist RRS Agartala. Then B. Rai, RRS Agartala. And at the this final year students, they are doing training in Aristo Texacon. It is in Rubber Park, Agartala. And Mr. Sushil Kumar has helped us a lot, and he took all the batches, all the students of the batch for training in his institute. And now the recognition and opportunities, the course is equivalent to bachelor degree course, and students can apply for job or courses where minimum requirement is bachelor degree. Then student can sit for Tripura Civil Service Examination. They can apply for B.Ed and D.El.Ed. One of the students has taken admission in CPET for Masters in Polymer Science course. Another student has joined in Wadia Institute in Pune for Masters in Polymer Science course. Two students, I should mention, name the two students, Mr. Rahul and Miss Priyanka. They got All India rank first and third in postgraduate diploma organized by Indian Rubber Institute, India. So all these points play a key role in increasing the number of students. And at the very beginning, we got 22 students, but by 3 years, there is only 12 students who completed the course in 2015-18. But in 2019-22, we have 21 students, and now 2 students left. So we are left with 19 students. And this internship, we got JK Tyre, Royal Elastomers, Bright Rubber, then Aristo Texagon, and few students are in the government job, and few students are went for higher education. And one thing I want to mention that the number of seats is, though the number of seats is 50, but we are getting the less number of student admission. This is because this department is not regular. Whenever parents are coming and to us and they are asking about the department, and they are finding that this student department is running by only one faculty, and it is me. So we are facing this problem. So whenever I request the authority and who are the dignitaries present here, so to talk to UGC about this issue, that to make this department permanent, though we have submitted the detailed project report to make it a regular department to UGC. So this current batch, now third batch is running. They are in the 6th semester. They are doing their project work in Aristo Texagon, Agartala. And we have submitted this detailed project report to UGC. And I request the intervention of RSDC to make it a regular department, as we have submitted the DPR and all. So I request RSDC to talk to UGC about this issue, because as it is not a regular department, so we are getting that number of students also we are getting less. We are facing so many problems, and with along only one faculty, it is very difficult to run the course. And as Professor Nath already told, that we have got 100% placement, so we are getting achievement is also very good, but for smooth running of the department, we need funds and regular support from the university. And these are some, we have signed MOUs for with NSDC, then RSDC. We have MOU with Rubber Board, then ARIA, and we have sent the NSDC, this MOU with NSDC is need to be renewed, and we have submitted on 17/6/2020. So I request Rekha Menon Madam to look into this matter for the renewal of this MOU with NSDC. And these are some pictures. We have signed MOU with ARIA, and there is exchange of MOU in presence of the then Honorable President of India, Sri Pranab Mukherjee, in Rashtrapati Bhavan in New Delhi. And we got RSDC award to tie up with some industries in 2016. And this is the photo where last time we sent our student to RTI Rubber Tanning Institute in Rubber Board, Kottayam, Kerala. And there we attended 1 month training program there. And there are students with certificate. This current batch student, they are in the 4th semester, and few students are in the 6th semester now. Thank you. Thank you all. So over to Professor R.K. Nath.
Thank you all for patience hearing, and we will talk later on in the discussion part. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Professor Nath and Professor Vishnu, your colleague, for the overview of the excellent way in which you have managed to start and conduct the BWAC program. Of course, any new program will have its own teething trouble, but you have managed to achieve 50% occupancy. You have 25, 22 to 25 students in 2 years, and the industry is also going through recession. You are also in a remote location, so a lot of factors add up, but you have with the constraints you have managed to win awards. That's very commendable. You have managed to be recognized, and you have reached out to the industry to sign agreements and see that the students get training and projects, which is of prime importance of any skill development program. We will now move on to Dr. Mukhopadhyay. Dr. Mukhopadhyay is a veteran in the rubber industry of more than half a century and is a visiting faculty at different IITs. He is the Director and Chief Executive of Harishankar Singhania Elastomer and Tire Research Institute since 1991, which is now located in Mysore. He did his BSc from University of Kolkata and an MSc and PhD applied chemistry from IIT Kharagpur. He has also got a graduation in chemical engineering from the Institution of Engineers. Now, Professor Mukhopadhyay is also currently the chairman of the Indian Rubber Institute Governing Council and member of the Indian National Academy of Engineers. He is a member of various international certification bodies, including our own national BIS. And he is, what is not mentioned is, he is one of the architects of the BWAC program, ever supportive to the Tripura University to formulate the program and guide them and insist very much on the practical training. Professor Mukhopadhyay is head of the NOS in the RSDC, and he is passionate about MSME and the industry getting skilled labor, and it's been a pleasure working with him since 2012-2013. Professor Mukhopadhyay, you have absorbed, I understand, 9 to 10 graduates of the BWAC program so far into JK Tire, and you have a certain vision the way the rubber industry has to go. Can I ask you to share your experiences? Over to Dr. Mukhopadhyay.
Thank you very much, Mr. Srikanth. First and foremost, on behalf of the IRI and on behalf of JK organization, I'm very much thankful to Shivani or RSDC, especially to arrange this type of conference, this type of Zoom interactions, not only with our eminent speaker, but also the rubber fraternity around all over India. And I also thankful this, Mr. Professor Vipra Halder and the Professor R.K. Nath and his colleague Vishnu to give a brief history about the BWOC courses. Let me start with, before starting with the first agenda as an employer, your feedback. But before that, I can tell you that I started as a career as a teacher, and then I joined as the industry, and I realized the university and institute of knowledge and skill, they have to go hand in hand not only the skill was from the beginning. If you looked into this in India, the skill was what we call the jugaad. The skill was there, very clear. The skill was not able to upgrade it due to the lack of knowledge. Now, after the independence, we have the premier institute like IITs and also National Institute of Technology and so National Institute of Technology, so other university institutes. So most of the cases, what we found this university, what you have done, what is required, especially for R&D, but what is required for the industry, that was well needed, and that was realized by the government of India. They have started the Skill India, and which is started in 2009. About the 35 sector initially started. Rubber is one of these sector, Rubber Skill Development Council. When I joined Rubber Skill as a NOS committee, we found that we did not have a national outcome standard for rubber industry. With the help of industry, with my colleagues, we have developed. Then we have proposed the RSDC to start with a course which is called BWOC course, and the Tripura University was the first to came forward, and we are very happy that someone at the curriculum of the course which was needed for the industry was made. And initially they have taken, what I came to know, that 2016-19 about the 15 to 18, 22 batches, but enrolled only the 12 was completed out of which we have recruited about the 7. And one of the students is placed in the, in Agartala itself for our purchase department. They procured because especially those engaged in manufacturing rubber sheet. So after recruiting, because once I visited Tripura, I delivered a talk. I found that some of the students are really good. Their basics are very good, but they have to nurture. So we recruit these people, and we have induction program. And after that, initially we require about, let us 12 to 18 months for training to get the output. But these students, after the 6 months, we found they're capable of delivering things which is needed. Initially, we used to recruit the graduate in the or MTech course in rubber technology, but we observed the retention of those highly qualified people is very difficult. But we trained well, and the demand is very high. They go turnover of the people. Then we thought that if we take the Vivok courses, they are needy, and also they are very good followers, and they try to learn. And we encourage them during this 1-year probationary period to complete the diploma or postgraduate diploma. They came out with a flying color, and they are dedicated and hard worker. And what is actually BVF course has given to them? As you know, the most important point I call in my language is the cash. There is the knowledge, the attitude, the skill and habit. The university institute, they give the knowledge, but the attitude and mindset, actually, if we do not have a properly trained during this university institute to the different either MSME sector or organized sectors, when they go and see what is actually happening, what is the rubber tapping, how they process the rubber, and how then ultimately, not only the rubber, any other industry, if they spend sufficient time every semester, few months to go and what is happening in this industry, and they came back, their mindset changes. They also realize what industry needed and what can we correlate. So when they correlate, they are more encouraged and they are more dedicated and committed. So the BVOC course, we are very happy with the Tripura University has started. But one point what the faculty, Mr. Vishnu has mentioned is very, very, the university or the UGC has to give it, it is not the RSDC, it is not the IRI or the industry, it is also government has to look into that. If we are looking for such type of skill and knowledgeable guy for the industry, and then we have to look into present university setup, and those are running the BVOC, they have to be equally weighted like other departments. If we do not do after certain time, what will happen? If the students, they do not have a full-fledged department, they do not have a facilities, they do not have adequate faculty. If everything they have to depend on visiting faculty, it is very difficult to attract the people. And also, this has to be propagated properly through the different MSME sectors. If we can have a understanding between All India Rubber Industry Association, that there is MSME sector when they need, if generally they are allowing the proper trained. I think so. If the employability is good, we can attract more people. And this is my experience. They are going good, and more universities should come forward for the BVOC system or the dual degree system. What is, since being a chairman of Indian Rubber Institute, I would like to brief a few lines. We also realize, before pre-independence, people has to go for rubber technology diploma degree for London School of Polytechnic. And after the independence, then there is no rubber technology course. Only IIT Kharagpur they have started, and subsequently it is the Calcutta University, MIT, Cochin University, and today about 17 to 18 universities stood offering diploma and degree courses. But most of the university institutes, they do not have an adequate, they have the testing facility, but the adequate pilot plant or what is the industry needed, such type of laboratory is very rare. Considering that situations, the Indian Rubber Institute, we are also offering diploma and PG diploma courses. The people, those who are working in the industry, they're learning while working. They already have a skill, but they do not have a knowledge. So what we are doing, IRI, we are conducting every weekend classes, and after end of the covering 1 year classes, we have 4 papers. That is the those who are interested to make career for them with the science graduate or the diploma in mechanical, chemical, or mechanical material science or chemical in graduate or MTech, they can join it. Advantage is most of our faculty is the industry experts, and with after the COVID-19, and we have started this course in every Sunday. And we have a plan that from October onwards, this offer to giving to all university institutes. And my suggestion is those who are final students in a diploma or in engineering or in a BSc or MSc, try to enroll either with RSDC. They have several courses of qualification pack. If they can attain this, our program, weekly program, which is around about 160 to 70 hours throughout the year. And if they have a practical experience, total RSDC QPAC, you have to cover over 350 hours. And if you pass PGDR and DRI, the RSDC, they will assess. And if they found the suitable accordingly, maybe rubber technician, junior rubber, senior rubber technician, rubber associate, rubber technology, QC inspector, and so on. So my, the second point, what you have addressed, the importance of the skill certification of higher education. As you know, the Germany from the when the second assignment after IIT, I was in Bayer, so I was in Germany. I have seen the technical Hochschule after the 10 or 12 pass, how they spend into the Hochschule. The 3 days they in the school and the 2 days they are going to the factory. So throughout the year, so that is so successful. So in India, we have to look into through the different regulations, whether we can, either we have to go for a dual degree or we have to go for a vocational training. This type of infrastructure, we have a ITI. Now government is also coming forward whether the ITI can be upgraded for the different skill sectors. Including, we are trying to do that rubber fitters and other that can be either put into the ITI. So throughout India, we have about more than 300 ITIs. And this with the ITI certain facility, certain add-in facility with the RSDC, with the IRI, this type of vocational training can be continued. University and institute should encourage their final students to do either through the qualification for RSDC qualification or through the IRI. All the types of the fail RSDC as well as IRI we are trying to do. And after COVID-19, the theoretical training through the Zoom is cost, it is a cost, what you consider effective way of training, and you can get both the practical training and so on. And what is another, the last one is recommendation, what I already told. RSDC, we are also trying, we are coming with, can I share the screen? You see the...
yes, sir. You can share the screen, sir.
Okay. Let me see what I would like to see. This is the picture. What is our center of excellence? Is one of the unique center of excellence. Dr. D. Banerjee, who is the founder father of the Indian rubber industry, he has got a dream which we are executing. This is the about 32,000 square feet building with the university campus at Mysore we have constructed. Now we are getting a lot of support for the industry, and also through RSDC and NSDC, we are asking for the soft loan. Maybe next 1 year, the building will be ready, and we have auditorium about the 250 people, and we have 3 lecture halls, and we have a rubber processing, tire testing, everything we are including in this. So we will offer this training center for the skill development for the all final year university and other students, with a very minimum charges. And we are also asking this university to create a dormitory so that about the 100 students can stay together at any point of time. This is also we are negotiating with the university. Now, this is the model what China had did it, because if you have to do the skill development and you require the people to come in a center where the practical facilities are there, then you require the hostel facility so the people can come stay for 3 months at a stretch. They get the theory as a practical training, either in the summer or winter. This was the dream, and we are expecting from the at least 2000 next financial year to start this one. And basic, if you look, this is the objective of the Center of Excellences, to fulfill the objective to provide sustainable employment and improve quality of the life. More than 20,000 people we are planning for next 7 years to train, and this will be help to entrepreneurship development, providing to increase the productivity and efficiency. And we have a lab like a testing, reverse engineering, failure analysis, compound development. That means what is needed for the industry according to tailor-made things we have done. And we also going for a technology development for MSME sectors. And we have experts from the different panel or the hose or the belting and etc. We can continuously advise to the MSME sectors. And also, we also create we have hub and we have 8 branches all over India. Subsequently, once it is successful, we try to do at least the 4 such metros to create such type of centers. And we also coordinate with AIRI, ATMA, ACMA, SIAM, SAE, IIT, other universities. And this will really be help to the what you consider knowledge plus skill, which the Indian rubber industry, they need it. And and actually we are, those we have seen our facility, I can tell you our Haseti facility is a unique. We have all the types of the testing facility. Mysore we have selected with a lot of tire industry, non-tire industry, and as you know, the Chennai is the automobile hub. Lot of auto rubber components are there. I suggest in the rubber sector, if we create that on in other different sectors also, if they come forward next, let us this decade 20 to 30, the amount of the skilled people required in the different sector is huge. And after the fiasco after COVID-19 and Chinese speak of the industries coming here, what for they will come, they require a skilled manpower. So with this few words, any help and cooperation required from IRI or RSDC, we are ready to help the university and institute. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Mukhopadhyay, for an industry veteran's perspective on skill development and its necessity. Our next speaker on this webinar is Ms. Rekha Menon. She has got tremendous experience in working for non-governmental organizations like the ILO, USAID Award Society, Plan International in Sri Lanka. She is a gold medalist in social work from Pune University, a postgraduate diploma in research methodology from Mumbai, and she's got a lot of experience in project design and project management. She's currently the head of educational initiatives at the NSDC and is responsible for the implementation of vocational education at the school level and both at the college and the higher education level, licensing with the UGC and the AICTE skill development program. She's also responsible for sector skill council governance and training of trainers and training of assessors program. A very key person to today, ma'am, you have listened to the speakers before you. There have been certain submissions made by the university. There are some submissions made by the industry here of continued support from the NSDC. And we also have some questions in the panel, which I'll just alert you, which says that NSDC should support the university. I mean, it's more a statement than a question. Over to you, Ms. Rekha Menon, for your comments on how NSDC is supporting these programs and the government of India is involved.
Thank you, Mr. Krishnamurthy, and good evening to the eminent speakers and the participants who are there for this webinar today. I would also like to thank RSDC for inviting me for this webinar. It's a great opportunity for me to be here and present our view, because the universities and colleges are under the ambit of MHRD, UGC, AICTE, and we at NSDC with the Ministry of Skill Development are only facilitating the entire implementation of the program which have been implemented by MHRD, and this platform will help us to reach out to the colleges and the participants from the colleges to inform them what are the various programs and initiatives which we are doing at the NSDC and at the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship level. And I would request the colleges and universities who are part of the webinar today to take a note of it and do reach us in case if you wanted to implement the dual program which Professor Mukhopadhyay was talking about, which the German model which we have started now in India. I will be sharing basic details about that program while I speak. So today's webinar, I'm going to talk about 2 points. One is on the NSDC initiatives in order to bridge the industry academia gap. And second, the NSDC intervention with higher education departments such as UGC, AICT for skill certification program. So as you know, it is very aptly said that education is a publicly provided private good, and therefore it needs a greater focus on accessibility, equity, and quality. It is known fact that dropouts of students has a huge financial ramification which affects the labor market, economic performance, and social progress of a country. Right? If you look at the All India Survey on Higher Education 17-18 report of the Ministry of Human Resource Development Department of Higher Education, they currently cater to an estimated 36.6 million students, which comes to a gross enrollment ratio of only 25.8%. And the dropout rate at each level is on a higher side. And we are aware about this fact that when we even if the students who have completed their graduation or post-graduation and even PhD, they are applying for posts which are of a very lower level. We have seen that in the newspaper that PhD holders are applying for a post of peon, which is a very, very sad state of affairs for all of us. And as people who are working in this space, it hurts us that this kind of a situation is there. Nevertheless, but there are a lot of interventions which now both MHRD and MSD and the government of India is taking in this bridging the gap between the academia and the industry. So while there is a demand of skilled graduates in India across various sectors, the skills of the graduates are limited to academia and do not extend to a on-the-job training. With regard to the government initiatives in order to bridge the industry academia gap, I would like to say that the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship through National Skill Development Corporation has set up 37 sector skill councils for bridging the gap between what the industry demands and what the skilling requirements out to be. So the RSDC is one of such sector skill council on the rubber. We have different kinds of sectors, right from agriculture, which is at the primary sector, to the high-end aviation and aerospace sector. And also at the lower end, we have domestic worker sector skill council, which caters to the, the maids, the caregiver sector. There are over 600 corporate representatives in the governing council of these SSCs. The SSCs are responsible to create the national occupational standards, which is one of the most significant contribution to the Indian skilling ecosystem, something that was made possible by these sector skill councils, which are national partnership organizations that bring together all the stakeholders, the industry, the labor, and the academia. When I say industry, labor, and academia, it also means that the governing council also have the representation of academia in each board of the sector skill council. The sector skill council is responsible to understand what are the job requirement in their own sector in terms of the competencies and the demand, in which job roles there is huge demand, and basis that the sector skill council creates those standards, and those standards are approved through a process by the government of India, and then that is called as national standards. And these standards are then taken as we call it as in our jargon the qualification pack for implementing, or you can call it as course for implementing in the training centers. So before I share the details about the higher education program which NSDC is working upon, I would also like to share some details about what we are doing in the school education system, because as you know, from after class 12, the students come to higher education. So what we see that there is a gap between what is school education offering and what is higher education offering. So just because many of the colleges or the universities are not aware that in their own state there are these kind of programs which are implemented at the school level. So as we speak, NSDC is currently working with 31 states and UTs in 10,770 schools from class 9 to class 12 onwards. So one particular course is introduced as one of the subject in class 9, and then the child studies that subject for 2 years, get a certification from the Sector Skill Council, which is an industry body. The child can continue in class 11th and 12th with the same sector job role, a different course in 11th and 12th as one of the main subject, a compulsory elective subject in 11th and 12th, and exit at class 12 and take that certification, which is level 4 certification in class 12, and go to higher education for vertical progression. Unfortunately, the school ecosystem is offering X course, but the higher education ecosystem is offering Y course. So the vertical progression, which we are talking in terms of real sense, is something which is missing. So this is one important piece of information which I thought should be shared with all the participants, since many of our participants are from the college and the university, so they may go back and check what are the schools program in their states which are happening, so that those students can be given an opportunity to come for BVOC program, and they will have a natural inclination to take up this kind of program, because the Tripura University and the IFCA University was sharing that the enrollment rate of the students are comparatively low because of various reasons. So maybe you will also look at, if you have students coming from school segment who are being taught vocational education, they will have an inclination to take up these kind of courses. With regard to the higher education, NSDC is working with both the regulators, UGC and AICTE, to embed the skills into the mainstream education. NSDC is supporting UGC's 3 schemes, namely the Community College, the Bachelors of Vocational Courses, and the Deen Dayal Upadhyay Kaushal Kendra, which are being introduced at different colleges and universities. There are about 531 such colleges and universities currently as we speak who are offering this kind of courses. All the 3 courses have proposed multiple exits at certificate and or diploma or advanced diploma and at the degree level. My earlier speakers have already covered the structure, so I'm not going to speak about the structure. I just wanted to inform you that in these courses, the national standards developed by the respective sector skill council is embedded by the respective college and university. Like you introduce any particular graduation program, the same process has been followed for the introduction of BVOC. That is, you will have a BOS, we will have the curriculum been approved by the academic council. But what we have seen in the UGC program, especially the UGC funded program, is that the colleges independently go and apply for the funding for UGC to implement this program. Unfortunately, the university, the respective parent university, is not aware what kind of program they are going to take from the UGC, and the college implement the program, and then the university finally has to give a degree. So there is a mismatch because the bylaws are not amended. So there are issues on that which we have seen in the initial stage of implementation. I believe right now things have become more clearer, as you know, we have now 531 institutions. But as the earlier speaker from the Tripura University was talking about in terms of the faculty and the other issues, these are primarily with the funding from the UGC program. As a university, you are free to charge the students and make sure that you hire faculties like you're doing it for other programs. But as Professor Mukhopadhyay said, that with a guest faculty you can't run a BVOC program. You need to have a full-time faculty in the college who are implementing these kind of programs. We also feel that there is a greater need for working closely with industry and academia to expand and scale the skill development program. In fact, if you are aware, the National Skill Development Policy 2015 envisages that skilling will be increasingly integrated with higher education, offering NSQ of aligned vocational courses and BVOC degrees. These courses will be aligned to credit framework, which can provide horizontal and vertical mobility. Further, the policy also says that at least 25% of all the existing institution of higher education would offer add-on career-oriented courses with specialized skills at an appropriate NSQF level within the next 5 years. It also says that the national skill universities and institutes will be promoted in partnership with states and centers of excellence for skill development and training of trainers, either as a de novo institutions or as part of existing university landscape. So currently there are 7 such currently there are 7 skill universities in our country who are specialized as skill university, offering different kinds of program, not only the certificate or diploma or a degree program, but also post graduation, and there are plans that they will offer research based program as well. It is desired that these institutions becomes an aspirational for candidates and other premium institutes around the country. So the ministry has also, our ministry has also started something like the Indian Institute of Skills, like you have the Indian Institute of Technology, IIT, in similar line, something like that. The IIS will also be there. So we have right now 2 such IIS which has been launched. One is in Bombay, Mumbai, another one in Ahmedabad, and the third is in Kanpur. So these will also come in this space. So these institutions, apart from skilling candidates through affiliates and training the trainers, will also conduct extensive research to enhance the quality and delivery of skill training by keeping abreast with latest development in the skill space. Apart from supporting and facilitating UGC for the implementation of the 3 schemes which I just mentioned, our ministry, in collaboration with MHRD, has embarked on a major initiative to boost the employability of the huge number of students passing out of general degree program in the country, that is the BA, BCom, BSc courses, through a systematic integration of industry apprenticeship with education. This is started last year, where many of the colleges might be aware, MHRD has launched something called Shreyas. Under the Shreyas, this initiative was offered. Keeping in view the importance of the apprenticeship training, the National Apprenticeship Promotional Scheme, that is NAPS, was introduced by our ministry in 2016, which provide support to the financial support to the industry who are undertaking apprenticeship program under the Act 1961 of the apprenticeship. Taking into account the provisions of the Apprenticeship Act, and the huge demand from the higher education system, our ministry through NSDC and the Sector Skill Council is now working with graduates passing out of general degree courses by supporting the interested graduates, students to get into apprenticeship opportunity with different eminent companies. So all the colleges who are there today with us as a participant, we would request, if you are BA, BCom students who are passing out, can be given an apprenticeship opportunity under the Act of the Apprenticeship, where 6 months the students will be given an on-the-job training in the shop floor. And 1961 Act was further amended in 2014, which has become more industry friendly. And it is mandatory for all the companies, all the employees in this country, who has more than 30 employees, whether on roll or on contract, to appoint apprentices. So every employer has to appoint apprentice through a process, and the sector skill councils are offering the QPs as one of the course under the apprenticeship program called as optional trades. Further, as our speakers were talking about the dual degree, I would like to inform you all that we have started the similar program called degree apprenticeship, which is a dual mode, along with the Ministry of Human Resources and Development last year. This entire program will be run under the apprenticeship umbrella, and the shop floor training will be done on an industry shop floor. The students who comes to the degree apprenticeship program will have mandatorily apprenticeship embedded in their program, where every alternate semester, that is the even semester, the students will have to be on the shop floor for the actual hands-on training. The odd semester, the child will be there in the college, who will be learning all the theory and the knowledge part of the component. So it's there will be flexibility for change of company on every semester. So it's not that the child will be learning, doing the apprenticeship only with one particular industry. There is a flexibility that every semester the child can go to different companies, and there will be a different contract under the Act, which will be more useful for the student as a learner. So we have piloted this as a phase 1 in 3 sectors: retail, logistics, media, and entertainment, with 20 colleges with 686 students last year. The plan was to scale it up this year, and as you are all aware, in the February budget speech, the Honorable Finance Minister has also announced that 150 institutions will be offering degree apprenticeship program. So this is in the same line that the dual degree, where the students will be exposed to the live industry while they are in the college, while they are doing their degree program. So we feel that through this kind of program, the employability of the general graduates is enhanced considerably, as the student can have professional experience on the shop floor along with their graduation. It's just a small, humble beginning, and I feel that there is a lot to go, because there are 50 lakh students who pass out every year from the completing graduation, and the efforts are on. And I can only say that both at NSDC and our ministry, we are happy to facilitate. If there is any college or university wanted to implement the dual degree program, we will be happy to work with them, align the industry, and make sure that our youth are employable. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Menon, for the roadmap of the NSPC and the government. You have also brought in the British Academy of Germany that Professor Mukhopadhyay was mentioning, saying that that is now an integral part of your strategy the government has got. In this context, let me confess that my alma mater is BITS Pilani, and it is one of the oldest in terms of university industry linkages and one of the front runners in the field. And I've been a faculty for them since till 2013 and continue to be associated with them running the Alumni Association in this country. So I do have a background where I have tried to use that experience in RSDC and try to help and guide. And I'm happy that people are slowly realizing the advantages of dual degree certification, course requirements, and semester-wise programs that people are talking of late. Moving on to the questions that we have. One question is, Dr. Mukhopadhyay, there's a question from Sri Harsha who says, do you have any plans for chemical engineering students? He would very much, I think, like to do a rubber program on top of his chemical engineering degree. Your answer to that, sir?
Yeah, I think so. The rubber technology is 50% science and 50% engineering. So what we considering, we have a not only the material and compound, we have a design and as well as the process that makes the rubber product. So the mechanical engineering knowledge with rubber technology is very good. Chemical, mechanical, material science. This is the three ideal things which can in the final semester or the final year, that is the 4-year degree course, that the 4th year they can take the, either the RSDC sector, any qualification certificate for them, or they can come with the IRI being a members and attending the courses. They can get this dual degree in rubber. If they're willing to come to the rubber industry, I suggest mechanical, chemical, material science, anybody can come.
Thank you, sir. Vice Chancellor, sir, and Dr. Vishnu, there's a question here which says, dual certification program students, are they doing it in the 7th or the 8th semester in your university? Your quick answer to that, sir. Will Dr. Vishnu take it? Yes.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes.
The question is, dual certification program, is it in the 7th or the 8th semester? Which semester do these students?
We are not running this dual degree program. It's
Okay.
a 3 years degree program. I think Haldar sir can answer this.
Yes, Vice Chancellor, sir, Dr. Haldar, you can answer this question. Is he there?
Can I pitch in?
What is the question?
So AICT is now been saying that in the semester 7, the students can go for on-the-job training. 7 or 8, either of them can go for on-the-job training. So if in fact, what I would suggest is that internship and apprenticeship are both different. Internship is very loosely defined, but apprenticeship is under the act, and there is a contract with a defined curriculum and structured program. So I would encourage that, since it is a mandate by the law that every employer has to take apprentice, you should look at the local employers who are there, make a tie-up, or take the help of the sector skill council and do that the shop floor training while the students are there in the college while completing their program. So the AICT, if you're doing a BTech program, the AICT has given a has directed all their colleges to go ahead and do internship or project-based projects. So the colleges are free to look at that.
Thank you. So the next question is, who is conducting the exam? Is it the university or RSDC? This is from Mithun Dominic. I think the examining authority in either case is different. BWOC program, if I'm not mistaken, would be the Tripura University by themselves. And if you look at the skill development add-on courses, I think RSDC and their external third-party assessors would come into the picture. Shivani, can you take this question, please?
Yes, sir. So, sir, in BWOC program, Sector Skill Council skills certification has been linked in each semester. A student get a certificate in semester 4, 5, 6, and 8. So, RSDC also do the assessment and certification on the skill-based subjects, and the university do the examination on the general subject in the curriculum. And end of the 3 years, a student get a BWOC degree from the university and skill certification from RSDC as well.
Can I just add on this? So there are, in every semester, there are 18 credits for the skills and 12 credits for the general component. So the general component is been defined by the university, the respective university. The 18 credit is the skill component, which has to be defined by the respective sector skill council. As I said, the sector skill council's standards are embedded. So these standards are being evaluated by the sector skill council, but the overall certificate, whether it is certificate, diploma or advanced diploma or the degree, is been given by the university. So the marks which the sector skill council gives for that 18 credits is taken into consideration for the overall evaluation of that particular semester by the respective university.
Thank you. We have Anuj Jacob asking a question. How well is a candidate on the shop floor after the BWOC course? Dr. Mukhopadhyay, you have any comments on that?
Yeah. Can you repeat the questions? Yeah.
How well is a candidate on the shop floor after completing the BWOC course? So what is your experience, sir, with these 9 or 10 candidates you have recruited at JK?
See, what we observed is, during every time we have to give in-house training, no doubt of it, but their acceptability, their mindset for accepting the training on the shop floor is fast. The normal, if you do not have a BVOC or normal science graduate, really speaking, it takes minimum 1 to 1.5 years. Here we've observed that within 6 months they cope up because they have an exposures either in the natural rubber plantation field or certain MSME sector during the 3 years. So the mindset is very, very important, which have to change compared to regular student and BVOC student.
Thank you, sir. So there have been a couple of questions on a lab assistant and on additional professors. I left it to the university to take up these issues and see what is possible. There is a comment which says that since the industry is absorbing these candidates, shouldn't they be doing enough to support the university in terms of facilities and bear a portion of the expenses? At this point, as a representative of ARA, let me tell you that the association has got an education trust through which scholarships are being given. We also have got programs by which we can give grants to universities and the college departments to set up labs. We would encourage these universities and departments, after they get assessed by RSDC and certified, to approach the association for support in this regard. Through the association and through the members, we will definitely try to support as much as possible. We understand that we have a commitment if we want good employability and good employees. So the association is not moving away from this responsibility. And we have helped various other universities and colleges in the past and will continue to do so. I don't have, let me just see. Okay, Sriharsha has a follow-up question. I think I would ask Professor Nath to take the lead and Ms. Rekha to follow. Does the apparatus also support entrepreneurship in this field, apart from gaining practical skills, as in an incubation or a networking platform? Definitely, this program measures the student as much as possible with the industry is a given fact. But Professor Nath, how many of the students you have graduated so far, 45 to 50, have discussed with you about their plans to set up rubber units, processing units, or go into rubber plantation, or do they come with a family background of rubber plantation, etc.? What are your thoughts on this, Professor Nath, please? Professor Nath or Dr. Bishnu?
Yes, sir.
So the question asks is how many of the students you have with you are looking at entrepreneurship, setting up their own industries, or do they come from business families where they are already in the rubber field, either in plantation or something like that? They want to continue their family business, but with more sound scientific and practical knowledge. What is your assessment of the students you are having?
Oh. Till today, we got only 3 students who have their rubber plantation. In that, one student is already working with Rubber Producers Society in Tripura, and one student there, they have family business and this rubber plantation, and after that BVOC they have benefited definitely, and others are working in other industries, rubber industries.
There is this question here which says, I'm a second year chemistry UG student. If I enroll for 1 year diploma course in third year, what benefit would I get with that course completion certificate? This is from an anonymous attendee, so I will not burden the participant, the panelists with this question. Let me answer this question. If you have a degree program in the college that you are studying in, which offers the rubber program as a top-up, definitely you are much more employable to the rubber industry than a pure chemistry student. You come to the industry, which is to companies like me, with enough rubber background, and your employability increases, you get a course completion certificate. And definitely, I have employed personally students like these from down south colleges, and they are much better than a pure mechanical or a pure chemistry student. So definitely employability factor increases. Shivani wants to come in here. Please add your points.
Yes, sir. So I actually want to add for the previous question as well regarding the entrepreneurship. So the programs which has been offered at university and colleges, even the short-term trainings been offered by Rubber Sector Skill Council, the course has been embedded with entrepreneurship skills as well. And the training organization and colleges and universities also handhold these students who are interested to go for their self-employment job roles, or they would like to open in manufacturing industry or rubber plantation as well.
Thank you. And I think we have come to an exhaustion of all the questions. We have had the first panelist, Professor Haldar, talk about his vision and how he set up the university and the issues he faced. We then have Professor Nath from the Tripura University talk about the degree program that he was running and the issues they face and the experiences. And they are doing a commendable job, is what the industry would like to state at this moment. We then moved on to Dr. Mukhopadhyay, a veteran in the rubber field who has been a pillar of support for all the programs that both the universities have offered, being head of the NOS, where we developed the NOS and helped them deploy. We then had Ms. Rekha Menon talk about the NSDC roadmap for such vocational programs going ahead and how they are actively facilitating between the MHRD and the UGC and the colleges and universities. I think if you have any hierarchy issues or you have any red tapeism or you have any issues with regard to the rules and regulations, I think you now have a support partner in NSDC to take it forward and get the job done, because always the magic words is the industry needs it. So we've been talking about skill, vocational studies, and employability for the last 15 to 20 years in the industry. The earliest being, I think, if I'm not NIT, which offered their graduate diploma. We moved on and on and on, and we looked at a lot of adaptations in the course curriculum. But somewhere along the line, I think for the last 10 years, India has chosen the occupational standards path, and we have a robust, as far as RSDC goes, we have a robust skill development sector council, which is one of the premier in the country in comparison. They have also won their awards, led by Shivani, the CEO, and the team. Of course, not to forget the guidance of Vinod Simon, who's quietly listening into the seminar. I did check out who's watching and who's not. Let me thank all the panelists for the day, for spending their time on Friday afternoon in sharing their knowledge and experiences. There are a couple of questions which are on university related issues. I suggest Shivani will post this offline to the panelists and take it up so that resolutions can be found. And we are here to support. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to moderate this session and listen to such wonderful speakers. Over to you, back to you, Shivani and RSDC. You're muted.
Thank you so much, sir. It was a very interesting session, and I believe our audience received a detailed understanding that how higher education and skill programs together can fulfill the need of the industry on one hand, and can also enhance employability for the students on the other hand. I would urge on behalf of RSDC, the participants from universities and colleges to please come forward and introduce BVOC in rubber technology in their respective college and university, and also to offer dual certification programs to the existing courses which has been offered in your college and university with the skill certification program of RSDC. RSDC will provide you the complete support for the linkage with the industry, placement, internship, and industrial visits as well. The curriculums are well defined, and in consultation with industry, it has been developed. As Ms. Rekha has also shared with you, these curriculums has been developed on the National Occupational Standards, which has been validated and developed with the help of the industry. So the students who are going to get passed from the BVOC program in rubber technology or a dual certification program, they will be having in hands-on skills, and the industry would be happy to adopt them. On behalf of RSDC, I would like to thank you, our eminent speakers, for their valuable inputs and sparing their precious time for today's webinar. I would also like to thank you, Mr. Srikanth, for moderating the session on behalf of RSDC. And last but not the least, to all the participants logging from different locations across country. Due to time constraint, we were not able to take all the questions at the moment. The audience can send their question to RSDC office, and we will get the response from our respective speakers. Once again, on behalf of all of us at RSDC, thank you to all our esteemed speakers and participants. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.